Hey everyone, welcome to Jeff and Paper Gary, or welcome back if you are a return viewer. Making a short video today. It's pretty hot outside, so I have turned the fan off and shut the garage doors for just a minute to keep the noise down. Don't have a lot going on today that's really exciting or noteworthy for filming, but did want to give a status update and show you a little bit what's going on here. So they say that all the mistakes of a project are made in the first 2 weeks. I am not sure if this one is much different. I strayed from my original plan of buying a brand new kit from Vans and buying it in sections, as we start with the empennage or the tail kit, then move on to the wings, then the fuselage and so forth. In that time, I found somebody on Marketplace on a private Vans group that had a RV-8 tail section with tools for sale at a price that I just couldn't say no to. So I purchased a used kit, which was not in the plans. The vertical stabilizer, yes, the vertical stabilizer has already been complete. It looks to be pretty high quality. I have not gone in with the bore scope to inspect the inside yet, but plan to do that later today. And right now I'm going through the inventory to make sure that all the parts are there and kind of inspect them as we go through. Now, I don't see any laser cut part issues, and I asked the seller about that, and the parts that were critical to be replaced were replaced by Vans. I have them up here on the shelf in a box. They were brand new, sealed up when he sold them to me. So I'm really not too concerned with that. What I am concerned with, and you see this big mess of the blue plastic, right, is getting this blue plastic off the parts. Everybody I think that I've watched suggests removing this stuff right from the get-go. It is great to protect the parts, but the parts are going to get scratched up anyway, like anybody says. So long as they're not getting gouged or really tore up, it's not that big a deal, because we're going to go Scotch-Brite these things and prime them and do all kinds of things to make them look pretty in the finished piece. What the concern really is, though, is some of the markings, I guess, if you can see, left on these things. I'm going to get kind of close here under the camera, and that looks pretty distorted because of the fisheye issue that I have not yet figured out how to solve, so sorry about that. But there is like a slight discoloration that takes place on here. Now, that Hippie Pilot, which apologies for getting the name wrong the other day. I think I called that the Hippie Pilot. It is that Hippie Pilot if you're trying to find him. He had the same issue on some of his parts where the blue material stayed on for a long period of time and it discolored the parts. Now, there is a fix to that. I don't exactly recall off the top of my head what it was, so I need to go back and review his videos. But I imagine I'll be doing a lot of cleaning, Scotch-Briting, whatever it takes to get these parts clean and remove that little bit of discoloration. So that's about all that's going on for today. I'm going to go through this pile. As you can see, I've got some parts here. I've got this big pile of parts over here on the side. I did a box of parts last night. And let me show you this box of parts I did last night, because there's something in here that has to be addressed as well. So some of these parts that I bought already had, the plastic or the blue covering removed. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, there's quite a bit of corrosion on these parts. Now, I don't have to ask Paper Gary what he thinks about corrosion. I already know. And if anybody hung out with Gary for any length of time, they are very aware of his feelings and disdain for corrosion. So I'm going to take some Scotch-Brite to these things, probably on a little angle grinder or maybe even a tool on the Dremel, right? A bit on the Dremel. But I don't know if all these parts are salvageable. Some of these things in my mind look pretty bad. This one in particular is probably the worst. And there's only a few small parts like this. So I think it would probably be a wise investment if they don't clean up really easily, just to go to Vans and buy these parts new and have them fresh and clean and not have to worry about that. But we'll see how it does. Like I said, gonna take some mechanical tools to it here, some abrasives, see if we can get this cleaned without damaging too much, and we'll go from there and make an assessment. So I'm sure Paper Gary will weigh in on that as to whether we keep these things or not. But that's where we're at for today. So again, nothing too exciting, nothing too noteworthy, but did want to give a little status update here, and then also just create a video for more practice so I can kind of perfect things and work on things. I know I still have a long way to go when it comes to making some better quality videos for you all, fixing the fisheye issue, which is driving me nuts on this camera, and getting through a few other obstacles. Hey friends, about to wrap it up for the day. Thought I would give a little bit of a summary video of what I've been up to today. I did not bore you with a lengthy video of watching me do part inventory and removing this awful blue covering on all these parts. So I think that every Vans builder hates this stuff. They all say to remove it as soon as possible, and I removed a lot of it today. I still have a little bit more to go. So these parts that you're looking at here were the replacement parts from the laser cut part issue. I've got everything inventoried minus the parts of the the vertical stabilizer that was already built, which I have down here. And I need to go dig through my box of parts up here and go replace the ones that that I have new parts for. So that's going to be maybe a tomorrow or later on thing. I'm going to take a break from the aircraft hangar, garage, whatever this is, shop. Tomorrow morning, do some mountain biking with some friends, and family dinner night tomorrow night. So I'll have some cooking and cleaning and things like that to do. So I don't know when I'll be back, but hopefully it's soon, and I'll get through the rest of this inventory and then back on to some building. Also trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a little bit of a miniature paint booth here. So as you can see, some of these parts are primed. I need a little space that I can go spray some self-etching primer on these things without getting overspray all over my garage and my car, and most importantly my wife's car. So more on that later. I think I've got some plans in my head that might come out to a decent idea and decent approach. So we'll work on that in the very near future. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Jeff and Paper Gary out. Thanks everyone.